they're getting that done.
Here we go. Italy, world #1 on the left side, taking on Brazil, world #2 in Brazil. It doesn't get better than this in terms of high-level volleyball, and the first point already on the board for Italy.
Starting fast will be really important for both sides to make sure that they're ready to go right away, establishing the offense early on, especially getting those middles going on both sides.
It looks like a strict strategy already is going to be targeting Ana Cristina on that left side. Doesn't pay off this time. Cheeky little tip over that big block we already talked about.
It's really difficult to know who to serve on Brazil's side because Ana Cristina and Julia Bergman are both very good passers. You kind of have to pick one, see how they're doing that night, and either wear them down or switch.
Lorena with the first serve for Brazil, the 25-year-old middle blocker. She goes line to Silla as well. Similar strategy. De Gradi cross court with the absolute rip of an arm we know she has.
Alicia De Gradi has been so impressive on the outside for Italy. She came in off the bench in their match against Germany and put up 16 points. She earned the starting outside spot tonight.
Cristina can be a game changer. Now getting that spot, that shows exactly what she's done for Italy. Danesi, 29-year-old captain, gets one sent so quickly back on Italy's side.
Establishing the middle attack is so important for Brazil early on because Brazil relies heavily on their pin attackers, especially the outsides. If they can establish the middle, though, that makes Italy's defensive block just make it that much harder.
Teams trying to go aggressive from the service line to begin with, but how important is it to establish that solid serve for each team?
It's incredibly important, especially when you have two great passing teams like Italy and Brazil. You need to make sure you are serving them very tough.
Well, speaking of a tough serve, Paola Egonu, one of the best in the world. Doesn't matter though, Brazil quick and efficient.
Huge for Brazil to side out right away against a serve like Paola Egonu, who has a ripper for a topspin. Beautiful pass right away, very impressive side out.
Cristina, still just 21 years old. You wouldn't know it by the way she's been playing, but she goes for a topspin serve, and it is an ace serve for Brazil on that end line.
Italy needs to make sure when Ana Cristina is back on the end line, getting her off there as soon as possible, really talking about those seams, making sure that they're shored up so that plays like that don't happen with miscommunications.
Looking for another one. This time takes a little speed off it. De Gradi makes Brazil pay for a softer serve with an even softer tip.
Yeah, beautiful handle on the pass that gets a quick outside tempo set going, set a little bit off, but De Gradi, very high volleyball IQ, makes the adjustment.
All business, just straight back to the end line to serve, and missing by a hair. I'm liking the aggression we're seeing from both servers so far.
And both have to serve incredibly tough, and even though we've seen some misses, they're hitting the seams really well.
Speaking of misses, the last time these two teams faced off, 33 errors is what we saw on Brazil's side. Or excuse me, on Italy's side to Brazil. So they'll be wanting to cut those down today.
Already you see that back-to-back. Italy not quite comfortable yet in some of these swings that they're taking. Haven't seen one really good swing so far. We're seeing tips, roll shots, and a little bit of misses, maybe some nerves in the crowd getting in their heads.
This is probably one of the most difficult places in the world to play volleyball, unless you're Brazil. Oro feeding up Silla. Defense good from Ana Cristina, and Bergman looks to go high off hands. Instead, she finds that big Italian block.
Testing out Italy's block is important early on, but you need to make sure that you're swinging high with it. Julia Bergman is finding out just how big that block is in front of her.
Far. Again, magnet on Ana Cristina. And it works. The blockers don't have to do much moving to get another stuffed block.
Italy's block is incredibly disciplined. Even when Brazil's offense stays spread out, those middles are so good at reading.
Sarah far part of that blocking strategy. But on the serve now, the 23-year-old looks for that corner. And again, a couple errors from the serve already, early days.
Italy trying to get comfortable playing this tough Brazil team in this kind of environment. They need to make sure they're settled in and not just handing Brazil easy points.
Crease. Simple pass for Italy. Conversion almost. I mean, that's a super defense by Brazil. Frustration for sure on Ana Cristina's side.
Yeah, Ana Cristina letting her teammates know that she's frustrated, and I don't blame her, because when you have an incredible up like that after a great read, someone has to make a play on that second ball. If Macreesh can't get to it, she has to talk to her teammates.
Communication is so important when you're talking about world #1 on the other side, but Oro gives up a freebie. Oro typically one of the better servers on her side.
Yeah, just way too many service errors so far. 3 already, and we're only through 15 points of the set. Italy has to clean it up.
Here comes Bergman. She goes on Silla. Back to Agonu, who has her way with the ball, and a free point for Italy.
This is where defense becomes so important, of making the play and then moving on. For example, Julia Bergman makes a play on this ball to get it up, but then stays on the ground too long, assuming that her teammates potentially couldn't get to it. You got to make the play and pop right back up.
Brazil going on the offense again. Defense good from De Janeiro, as per usual, and the tip again. Alicia De Gradi, a couple already taken speed off, and she's someone who loves to usually be really aggressive.
De Gradi is known for her power shot. She has one of the hardest swings in the world. That's what makes these tips effective, though, is you don't see it coming.
Silla on Ana Cristina. Down the line, looking for it just long. So Brazil now starting to give up a few too many to Italy.
You'll see this happen as Brazil's block gets going. The opponent tries to swing higher and higher. That results in plays and balls going out of bounds.
Looks like we've got a challenge on the floor for block touch. Brazil wants to have another look at it. But in general, what are you seeing so far from these two teams?
Well, so far, Italy is just making too many errors. They're trying to get comfortable back on the service line. We're not seeing them comfortable in offense either. Oro's getting her hitters in tricky situations. If Italy can calm down and clean up those errors, this is a different set.
So far, Italy, the aggressor in terms of block as well. They've got 2 there. Maybe that's why Brazil trying to swing higher and avoid the hands.
Absolutely, that's what happens when Italy's block gets going, is the opponent tries to swing higher and higher, and you'll see Italy so disciplined those balls go out.
Well, the challenge overruled. Italy keeps the point. And Agonu firing up already, and the crowd completely silent when one of the best opposites in the world gets her point.
This is what Italy needs to get going. Get Paola Agonu to take over this match. If they can get Agonu in great positions, it could be game over.
Yeah, she is somebody who could absolutely win a match pretty much single-handedly. Wouldn't be surprised to see her in the 30-point range. That's kind of typical for her. Quickly, Brazil get themselves going right through the middle.
Macreesh is doing a nice job establishing that middle attack. It's been one-on-one. When Brazil gets good passes, they need to continue to go back to it.
Giovanna Gio, as the Brazilians call her, in the mix for Brazil's side. She's been phenomenal recently. But again, Italy, as soon as you're able to get that middle going, the game just opens up so much.
Especially because it's oftentimes one-on-one, especially in this situation, it's a gap set. So the middle's moved a little bit closer to the outside, splitting the blockers.
Tanesi goes down the middle, and the block is ready. This Italian unit, when it's functioning from serve to block defense, just looks like the most elite team in the world.
Yeah, there is no team that can touch them when Italy is firing because of the physicality they have and how good they play all around.
First time out called.
De novo, atenção, Julia, ele sabe que ela bate pra cá, sabe? Então fica pouquinho mais na frente dela e sai pra pegar depois a outra Paula. A marcação tá errada, galera. Não pode cair mais na posição 1 como está caindo. Largada na degrade com bloqueio fechado.
Degrade tá largando muito, 4 bolas, 3 largadas.
Tudo aqui na posição 1 e 2, porra.
Bora, galera. Defesa.
Good start for Italy. What are they doing well against Brazil?
Well, they've picked up their serves a little bit and limited the errors a lot more, which was the key for Brazil's early lead.
Keeping that ball in play again, and the block is ready. And this is the danger of when things start to go well for Italy, how they can just rack up points in a row. It's 14-9 already.
And Italy's block is continuing to stay pressed and really read this offense very well. They're commit blocking on the middle on a good pass. Great scouting.
Another change up on Brazil's side. Roberta coming in to set. Just a straight setter for setter substitution, not a double sub.
Trying to get that offense going.
Donesi on Bergman. On the right side, Joe looking for that corner. Does she get it?
Sneaking that ball in. Great job adjusting to this set. It's a little bit low and inside, but Tanera gets her feet there. Great swing. Gio, rather.
That quick substitution. We liked seeing Gio in the last few matches. She's been a game changer, I reckon. Kind of player that could make a little bit more advantage on Brazil's side, but again, those tips right now are what are killing Brazil.
I like the way that Italy's tipping. They're not just putting these easy balls down. They're being very tactical where they put it.
Brazil fans ready to cheer for literally any point that Italy will give them. We saw a couple of fans with signs saying that cheese bread's better than pizza.
Heavy debate.
Yeah.
Heavy debate in this building.
I don't know.
Both are so good.
Yeah, we're not even talking volleyball at this point. Just Italy versus Brazil in any way. How can they win? Well, tough when Aganu's firing like that.
I mean, it's tough for anyone to even touch Italy when they have a player like Paola Aganu that's making swings like this. She takes situations and just betters the ball constantly, and if it's not the first swing, she figures it out on the second.
Gradi down the middle. Bergman looking to tip on her side, but the blockers are too well formed.
Italy's block is incredible. They are forming a brick wall against Brazil right now. They've done it throughout the VNL so far. When you're scouting them, you have to know that if you're tipping, if you're swinging, it has to go a little higher than you think.
Easier said than done. Those are some big blockers out there, but that's much better out of the 24-year-old Bergman.
What I liked about that play, too, is Roberta got her outside off the net a little bit more. Any trap set is advantage Italy because of how big the block is. Roberta did a good job leaving Bergman off so she could actually take a big swing.
Some catching up to do now, 12-17. Silla out of the offense, doesn't matter. Aganu's there, but what a stuffed block from Brazil.
That's the kind of big momentum play that Brazil needed in this moment. Down now 4, they needed something that was going to get this crowd going, get some fire in the building.
Yeah, if you're going to get a big stuffed block on anyone, bucket list is to get Paola Aganu. Oh yeah.
Quella è una palla, è prima palla che murano, ok? L'importante è che noi continuiamo a difendere, se noi difendiamo, contrattacchiamo, ci siamo, ok? La battuta, anche quella che scende, che sono tutte lunghe, ok?
Italy's coach Giulio Velasco not too worried about that block, saying, hey, that's all right, that's just the first time they've blocked us. He does look super calm, just giving some direction specifically about those serves that are going to drop in front of the passers. Crowd ready to get behind this team again. What do you like that you've seen so far from Brazil?
I think the way that they're adjusting, they're trying to test out the block, but now they're realizing just how big it is, continuing to try to swing high.
Well, speaking of swinging high, Italy seems to have the advantage on that so far.
Yeah, Italy's offense has been incredibly balanced. They've gotten everyone going because the passing has been great. Brazil should serve a little bit tougher to try to knock that balance out of rhythm.
Far on the end line again. She's been playing in Conegliano since 2020. Arguably the best club volleyball team in the world. But Anna Cristina of Fenerbahce has something to say.
Great swing from Ana Cristina in the backcourt this time. It's so important for Brazil to have that extra option when she's back there on attack. That allows 4 options to have.
And you know, she's turning that back towards Oro, the smaller of the blockers. That's got to be a strategy for Brazil going forward. Egonu taking a little bit of heat out on Gerberto.
Trying to take out Coach there. Going for the sideline, but that's why Zé Roberto is so much fun to watch too as a coach, because he basically feels like he's on the court with the players.
He's pacing on the sideline like a cat, ready to pounce. Oh, pouncing is Oro. I love an aggressive setter, and she's one of the most aggressive in this game.
And it's really important too when you have a setter up front to establish yourself as an option so that the blockers can't guess.
Reina kind of forgetting there that she was front court. Not anymore though, now back to serve. Cristina on the first contact. Bergman cross to Oro. De Janeiro pops it up off the net, as you talked about, leaving that space for Silla.
And there's been a lot of space right behind the block that Italy's really been exploiting. Italy's a team that's really known for that power, especially from the pins, but they've been really effective today, just going with the tip right over the block. Those are the plays that Brazil has to defend better.
Good volleyball IQ and another timeout called.
Galera, vacila, não ataca pra lá, quem ataca é outra.
Vai pra baixo! Bora!
Nós estamos jogando nos 4, 5 metros o tempo inteiro.
Tem defesa
Com
de
duplo
corredor!
montado, as ponteiras, mais trabalho do que qualquer coisa, caralho. Vambora, vamos de novo. Vambora, fica esperta lá. Vambora, Ana. Arrumar o passe de novo. Bora, Ana.
I'm not gonna lie, my Portuguese is rough. But I did think that he was talking a little bit about Silla and how to slow her down. What do they need to do?
I think one of them is picking up those easy plays and converting them, but also potentially playing up a little bit more. Sila's a player that likes that meat of the court, so bring the defense in.
Let's see if Brazil makes that adjustment. Down by 5 points is the home team. Make that 4 with Bergman on the right side.
Brazil's going to make a run. It has to start now. That's a great example of siding out very quickly right out of the timeout.
Looking for Oro in the defense. She played at Georgia Tech in the USA. One of the best outside hitters of the NCAA in 2022. Now taking her game internationally. So good to see her playing well. But Egonu, well, she is someone who will look for those sidelines. Oh, there's already an argument.
They were so confident they didn't even think that they had to say that it was a touch.
Well, there's a challenge. Italy is asking for that touch. We'll get a chance to see it.
No challenge, no challenge, no challenge.
Worth challenging.
Yeah.
Even at this stage where they're in the advantage seat, they don't want to lose any opportunity.
No, every point in a #1 versus #2 matchup feels like 10 points, so
Yeah.
you have to make sure you're fighting.
Italy, they'll never back down from a fight. So far, it seems like Italy's been in control of the match so far.
Yeah, Italy has. Once they shirt up some of those errors that we saw in the beginning of the set, they've really taken control.
Brazil have the home team advantage. That crowd is here for them. Coach looking to do a substitution, but perhaps too late. Farsina was ready to jump in. Silla back to the sideline. End line even, the 30-year-old playing in Milano since 2022. Solid squad out there as well with Egonu. But the ball off the hands and out of bounds. That's a better look from Brazil.
Yeah, and in this rotation with Degrati up front, she's just shorter outside blocker. That's a matchup that Brazil should look to exploit more.
Degrati just 183 centimeters. Plays bigger, but every once in a while you can take advantage of it. Substitution on Brazil's side. We've seen this a little bit in the last couple of days. Aline, the 19-year-old outside hitter who's only ever played in Brazil professionally. In her first VNL, and then there's that serving sub a couple of times already, doing some good work. Goes flat, looks for Silla. Oh, what a slice from Aganu, and you're exactly right. Those balls dropping in the middle of the court have to get picked up for Brazil.
It's the easy plays that Brazil is missing. Yes, Aganu looked like she was going to take a big swing at that. She disguised it incredibly well, but Brazil's defense is just on their heels today.
Cristina too tight, but what a play. So clever.
And a much better adjustment on Brazil's side. Italy was eating up so many of the plays earlier in the set. Brazil made a good adjustment. They're swinging a lot higher and going for hands.
Cristina, a three-time Champions League bronze medalist, and it's with plays like that, right? When you're out of system and you don't have a great ball, what do you do with it? So just down by 4 now. Can Brazil come back here? Well, Italy's going to make it tough.
Especially when they're serving a little bit too easy. That allows Italy to get their middles going. And if Danesi and Farr are involved in the offense, it's tough.
Double substitution on Italy's side. In comes Katarina Antropova in the front court. Carlotta Cambi, we've seen this change just to make sure there's a bit of height. And when I say a bit, more than 2 meters is Antropova. Of course, Brazil's going to set in the opposite direction from her.
Yeah, you want to avoid Antropova as much as you can. So if Brazil can get the right side going and continue to force that matchup, they're in a much better position.
Looking for those hands. Gets them and gets the point. 19-23. Ana Cristina. Oh, an ace serve on De Janeiro. You don't see that very often.
With how good Italy's passing core is, it's so important for Brazil to, from here on out in set 1, if they're going to come back, to serve those seams incredibly tough like they just did.
Pressure feeling Italy. Timeout.
La paz, salto massimo. Stai lì che sembra che stai leggendo, non c'è niente da leggere. Non c'è niente da leggere. Quando viene qua, la rete qua. Capito? E dopo la centrale si arrangia, ma te contro la Paz fai 1 contro 1. Ok? Occhio che la pazienza,
Well, there's that win prediction, fluctuating ever so slightly, but Italy seemed to have had control of this match the whole time.
Yeah, Italy's taking control from about 7 points in on. Brazil's trying to play catch up, but that's going to start from the service line if they're going to come back.
Do it now. Ana Cristina, with the help of the crowd. Top spin coming in. Another solid serve. Here comes Bergman going cross. That's not going down just yet. De Gradi, will she swing? Yes. Oh, what a cover from Italy. One more time, across, past the hands. Was there a touch? No, there was not.
Italy's defense is so difficult to put a ball down against. Even if you have a massive block up front, that coverage is so good behind them, allowing more opportunities for Italy to swing.
There we go then. Set point is up. Italy ready to close out the first set against Brazil in Brazil. Can they get it done? Not yet. Bergman looking for fingertips.
Gutsy swing at a huge time for Julia Bergman. Going for high hands, executing perfectly.
There's a bit of confusion here. Eileen having to do that substitution with the Libero. Make sure that Lorena knew she had to sub in. That would have been a horrible way to lose the final point. Still set point Italy. Ball is in. Ace serve from Julia. What a time to get it.
Massive serve at a perfect time for Brazil, putting it right on the end line. Their serving has really picked up.
more chance to take this set. Italy. To Antropova, and she will get it done. What a first set from Italy.
The response that we saw starting off not as strong.
Well, set number 1 goes to Italy. Set number 2 still yet to be determined. Here we go. Brazil on the serve. Bergman going at Silla. Gradi takes some pace off of it. Anna Cristina finds herself in the big hands of Denise Yanigonu.
Italy's block is so good. Brazil needs to continue to swing higher. Italy put up 4 in the last set. Brazil made adjustments at the end by tipping higher, swinging for hands, but they need to continue to keep doing that.
That's a good swing off hands. Otto goes under the net, but doesn't go across the line with her hands or feet. That's the rule. Doesn't matter though. Brazil ready to take care of it.
There's the adjustment. Anna Cristina now swinging a little bit higher on that one. Great job after she got blocked the play before. Going right off the fingertip.
Yeah, the adjustments and how the teams react to each other. Obviously, they will have their scouting reports dialed in, but how do you make changes mid-match?
It's always important to adjust, and volleyball is a game of adjusting, whether it's within a rally or within a set, within a match even, you have to be able to.
It's Italy who's adjusted the best, but that block looks good.
Brazil needs more of those high momentum plays. A block is exactly going to do that for your team. Get the crowd engaged, get your team even a little more fired up and dialed.
That ball from way off the net. Tough shot for De Gradi. Lorena gets her serve going. Ikonu is like nobody else in the world.
Because she has the ability to go up and over almost every single block, and if you give her even a slight seam to hit through, she's able to rip it.
Not her strongest serve. That's just heating up slowly but surely. Di Donato back to the star, but just wide. Does she need that faster, higher? What do you think?
That ball looks like it's just a little bit too inside. That's forcing Aganu to chase this ball down, and all her momentum is going toward that sideline, causing it to go out of bounds.
Good luck then for Brazil's side. They're up 3-2. Second. Aggressive serve. We wanted to see more of that. So aggressive that it's over the net. Double called, perhaps, on Italy.
It's allowed in your internal pass. This ball was double on the
Ball
other
went
side.
immediately over.
No.
I believe it was Agonu who said
not
it.
to the opponent.
Out of system, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, point given to Brazil. 4-2 lead. Gio. Looks for De Donato and capitalizes on some momentum.
With these tough topspin serves, they are targeting Mana De Janeiro, which typically no team ever does because of how good De Janeiro is as a passer, but they are serving incredibly tough right in the seams.
That looking like a rinse and repeat from an ace we saw earlier. 24-year-old looks to do it again. This time, bit of joy for Italy.
The aces that we have seen on De Janeiro, it's always the ones in those seams. As a libero, you're in charge of that. You have to continue to have that open communication, talking about seams and who's taking them.
Gradi on Berkman. What a slice from Julia, the 22-year-old.
Julia getting fired up after that swing. She's trying to get her team going. They needed a little bit more juice in this one. That's a perfect slide attack.
Height right through the seams. They love some speed on a slide as well. And that's what Brazil are trying to do. Certainly need to do more of it to beat Italy's block. Cristina. But it's Italy on the beating this time.
Laish in a good position to make that play, but it's another thing to try to control it. With how hard Far swings, you can touch it, but can you get under it?
Far far the best middle of the Italian Cup in 2025. You can see why with that reach. Again, all these balls looking towards Anna Cristina, and the defense of Italy ready to go again. Silla, cross court, great touches by Brazil. Free ball opportunity. Back out to Silla, that's kept in play. Bergman gets it going.
Brazil is transitioning these plays so well. That backcourt defense has really picked up. That's allowing the offense to get going.
Brazil looking like a different team here in the second. 7-4 timeout.
Dentro la palla, non nella linea, dentro, nemmeno nella linea, 1 metro dentro. Ok? Ragazzi, abbiamo detto che la partita era diversa, adesso hanno messo difficoltà alla battuta. È successo lo stesso che a lei con la pasta. Dubitiamo, fast 1 contro 1, massimo salto. Il resto lo lasci correre. Ok? Adesso giocheranno perché è andata bene la pasta, capito?
What do you think Brazil's changed?
I think they're playing with a little bit more fire, and their defense has really picked up. They're picking up things in the backcourt that didn't happen during set 1. That's allowing a lot more opportunities in transition. They're also being more terminal with.
Brazil side growing in confidence with their crowd. Flat serve on Silla. She responds with a little thank you very much.
I love the way Silla plays. It's so much joy, so much fire always. Whether it's a hard kill or an easy tip, she gets her team going.
And it's interesting they're serving towards her because she was the best receiver in the Italian Cup in 2025. Has certainly improved over the last decade that she's been playing pro. Another point for Italy. They're creeping back in it.
Brazil's definitely trying to exploit that matchup on their right side against Italy's outsides, forcing a lot of sets to the opposite, as well as this slide attack. It's a great run, just slightly missing out.
Perfect press over, one-on-one, going again. This time, a good change-up from Lorena, turning it inside, looking for that seam you talked about.
They're really trying to go for the shorter blocker on the outside. Miriam Silla, just 1.84 meters. It's a much better matchup than what you see on the other side of the court with Paola Ganu blocking.
It's all about that cat and mouse game. The setters at both sides, you can watch them and think about what they might be trying to do with their game.
Italy just getting a little bit tight on some of these plays. The passing has definitely declined from what we saw in set 1 where the offense was balanced. The backcourt not taking as great of touches.
Almost. Well, Brazil just up by 2. Italy are not going to like the look of that.
No, but this Italy team also has shown a lot of resilience. They were down 7 in set 3 against USA and ended up coming back. So even if a team's up, they don't get phased.
So much maturity on this Italian side. Lugano throws it long. Rio looking for it, and she will get it. She's been a great addition to this Brazilian side.
Yeah, really exciting player as well. Just her first time playing with the senior national team. She's been so much fun to watch because she makes big plays. She's not afraid to take big swings.
Brazil have to continue to be aggressive. Aggressive doesn't always just mean swinging hard.
Yeah, you can be aggressive with a tip too, throwing it down in a good spot.
Certainly been more aggressive with their serve. Maybe too aggressive there in that block.
And Alice de Gradi, she has great court vision, and as an undersized outside, she really has to be more crafty in her attacks. So if you're blocking against her, you need to make sure that right hand is turned back in.
It's easy. Middle on right. And just out, so that's another point in Italy's pocket.
A bit of dodgeball in the backcourt. Mimi Silla going up to take it, pulls those hands down quick.
Italy 1 full point from tying it up. Not yet.
How about the power behind that? Anna Kristina, until that frustration, taking it out on the ball. One of the most physical outsides in the entire world. You can barely see the ball, how fast it was moving. Great put down cross court. 92 kilometers an hour.
She is not messing around.
No, I wouldn't want to be on the other side of that. That's taking marks.
But again, it's like point for point, throwing punches. Doesn't seem like anyone's got a foothold here.
And this is what we expected this kind of matchup to be. Set 1, Italy took charge. Back here in set 2, we've got a seesaw just going back and forth with points. Teams siding out at a pretty high clip.
There's that double sub we saw earlier. Same thing. Antropova and Camby coming in.
Typically we see this double sub a little bit later in sets, but because we've been trading points so much, Glasgow goes to it a little bit earlier.
It works though. Another point for Italy, and again, Brazil kind of forced to send the ball in that direction.
Yeah, especially when you have Antropova on the right side. Again, a shorter block on the out. Brazil's going to keep trying to feed the right side of the court.
Does Farr take a step? Yes, she does, and that opens it up. Good tactic there by Brazil.
Yeah, and the reason that outside set was so effective was because the pass was so good. It held Italy's blocker, meaning the outside was one-on-one.
Yeah, you can see it there in slow motion. Farr thinking, I'm going to go help DeGradi. Nope. Got to get back there to Antropova. Gio. Oh, almost. We saw her with a couple of aces already. She was the best server in the Brazilian league last season. So for her to get that miss, that's a huge point for Italy.
Yeah, it's massive to get her off of the end line because Italy isn't passing up to par with what we normally see from them. Anytime they can get a top spin server off the end line, it's huge.
12 points apiece. Back to the right side again. Oh, that is a beauty.
There's not much you can do with swings like that. Julia, beautiful ball. Fantastic set from Roberta. They're really pushing this ball all the way out, and everyone on the right side going after that line shot. Italy might want to make the adjustment, move the block out just a little bit more.
Let's see how they react. Well, don't need to. It's now, we talked about the errors that Italy was giving Brazil in the beginning of stages of set number 1. Now it seems to be Brazil giving them up to Italy.
And really tough because Brazil had a 2-3 point edge on Italy earlier in the set. If they're up against the #1 team in the world, they have to make sure they're cleaning it up on their side.
3 service errors already from Brazil just in this set alone, whereas Italy getting those big blocks.
The double sub really paying off. This is why Antropova is in the match right now. This double sub allows a bigger block on the outside. No one's getting past that, come on.
Absolutely not. Closed hands all day. And now Brazil feeling the heat with a timeout.
Chegar espaço pouquinho mais pra gente poder jogar com o meio e com o fundo também. O bloqueio tá alto lá. Bora, arrumar de novo. Galera, nós estamos respeitando demais lá. Nós não conseguimos bloquear o que nós temos que bloquear ainda. E a maioria dos ataques estão sendo diagonais. Quando é ataque, vamos passando um pouquinho, segura.
Vamos, vamos, vamos.
Ei, vamos agora, bora.
Vamos dar o passo de novo.
Italy has no service errors, but also no service aces in this set. Do you think they've learned their lesson from set number 1 where they made all those errors?
Definitely, they really cleaned it up on the end line, which really helped propel them in controlling the first set. On Brazil's side, they've already made 7 errors just in this set alone. They need to clean it up and not hand Italy half their points so far.
Much tighter set here in the second. Scott Bergman sneaks one past that big block.
When the set is a little bit off the net, it's much better for Brazil because they can actually take bigger swings on this. Because Italy's block is so big, if it's tight, it's going to be a shutdown.
Tied up again, 14 points apiece. Julia goes for it, deep corner on Silla. Camby back to Antropova, and she has the same height as Igonu when they attack.
Kind of frustrating for Antropova because you're playing behind a player like Paula Igonu. Antropova would be a starting opposite on pretty much every other team in the world aside from maybe Serbia, Turkey, but it's so impressive to watch her come in and also take over matches.
How about an ace serve as well? Antropova doing damage, the best server of the Champions League in 2025. How do you like that?
It is so difficult to pass because the spin's always different on it. It's not quite a top spin or a float, it's that hybrid serve.
Gives Italy the edge by 2, goes for another one and another ace, 2 in a row for Antropova.
Because Antropova is hitting at such a high point, the ball's pretty much coming straight down, and when it has just that slight topspin, it's so difficult to pass.
Segurar que vem uma porrada.
Ataque aí a defesa, vambora! Olha que tem jogo, galera, não deixa
Só
escapar não,
segurar
vambora!
pouquinho. Tem que segurar o saque pra cima só. Ele tá muito forte, ele tá entrando híbrido. Ah, vambora. Segurar lá. De novo.
Saque agressivo, bora! Nosso saque, vamos jogar! Defesa, atrás da bola!
Well, it seemed like Brazil were coming out in set number 2 with a bit more fire. What have Italy done to really diffuse that?
I think Italy's responding well, but honestly, most of it's on Brazil's side. There's just too many errors. They're handing Italy too many points. Tough serving also doesn't hurt when you have a player like Antropova coming from the back line. Brazil's passing declined a little bit over the last 5 or so points.
Well, that timeout gets her off the end line, so that'll be one step in the right direction for Brazil. Silla gets it off the shoulder.
Beautiful set from Carlotta Camby, pushing this ball all the way up. Moving backwards as a setter, it's difficult to have the strength to get it done, but Camby's good enough to do it.
A direct libero substitution on Brazil's side. Pays off, perfect pass, and Bergman on the right.
Talk about pressure. Kick-up coming in, number 14 in yellow, the libero now for Brazil, nailing the pass right away. That's what she was put in to do.
There's a bit of conversation about these two liberos leading up to this match. Neither of them have had to carry the load, but doesn't matter when Brazil is playing like this.
Just a perfect serve right on the sideline. It's difficult because it's coming from zone 1 and right back to zone 1 on Italy's side. It's difficult to tell whether this ball was in or out. Silla making the decision way too late. Isn't caught up with it too.
Velasco doesn't wait to make his decision. Big substitution here. Eleonora Fersino, typically wearing that libero jersey, comes in as a substitution directly for Silla. You now effectively have 2 liberos in this Italian lineup. That's why, good ball in. Antropova off Bergman's shoulder. What a defense. There's the roll shot. Still in play. Oh, back set to the outside. What a play by Italy.
And that's pretty stuff. Carlotta Camby coming in. Difficult ball to set, but such confidence to make a back set to her outside attacker.
That's the rally of the match for me so far, with that defense off Bergman and then a backward set from Camby.
Just high-level volleyball all around.
We love it. We love to see it. Good aggression at the net from Camby. Christina just keeping it in play. And DeGradi again, sneaky. Good scramble play by both sides. There's the power we're used to seeing.
Italy is bettering the ball with every single touch. If that first touch isn't perfect, Camby is coming in and making a better second touch, and those attackers are adjusting to anything they're given really well.
Frustration for Brazil, down now by 3 in the second set. taking it out on the ball is Anna Cristina.
Oh, absolutely. And if you give Anna Cristina that big of a seam, that ball's going straight through the floor. Love the passion of these fans.
They're loving it.
God, they're just the best in the world. I mean, there is not an empty seat in this entire place up to the rafters.
Brazil in Brazil. There's that serving sub again. Maddie goes for it. Looks for Fersino. Down the line from far, not going to happen.
Not too many middle attacks for Italy during this set. The passing hasn't necessarily allowed for it to happen, so it's a great time to go back to far late in the set.
Italy with a bit of cushion here, 3 points. Heavy on Anna Cristina. She gets it back off the hands of the block. Good recycle from far. Antropova, does she tag it? Yes, she does.
There's that high touch really coming into play because most attackers, if they're hitting at this point, it's sailing out of bounds, but she has the height to just get on top of it and stomp this one down. Oh!
In by a split hair. And on the other side, oh, just the flip of the coin. Brazil can't touch it.
That one out by a split hair.
Yeah.
Great shot right down the sideline, just barely missing. That's an error that you're okay with.
Problem here, Brazil really trying to get around that block, and Italy's is one of the best. Again, good touches by the front court of Italy. De Janeiro, basically a free ball, and that's what you get.
What an adjustment from far. That set way too low for her to get a full swing on. She pretty much hit it right at her head, but was still able to get on top of it and put it down.
Well, you wouldn't know it by how silent the crowd is, but it is set point Italy. And 6 of them. Great defense. Chance to finish it here. Antropova does it with style off the hands of the block, and Italy have taken set number 2.
Even when Italy goes down in sets, the composure that we see on their side is so impressive because they're never. They could be down 2 points, 10 points, it doesn't matter. They're so experienced. They've been in these situations before, and they find a way out of it.
World number 1 versus world number 2 in Brazil. How do you like the look of this set so far, or this match? 2 sets now.
I think it's been really fun to see the back and forth battle, but Italy's had the advantage of really extending that lead late in sets. Brazil needs to finish sets the way that they're starting and keep it clean throughout. If they're handing Italy too many points, it makes Italy's job really easy to finish it up.
Here are the numbers from that second set. What are you seeing here?
I think a much more even battle. The only thing that stands out is the errors. You see Brazil handing Italy 8 points. They cleaned it up toward the end of the set, but they have to start off that way and playing clean because Italy clearly is scoring enough points on their own. They don't need help from Brazil.
Yeah, I don't think Italy needs help from anyone to score points.
But then you see on the flip side, Italy, only 3 errors that entire set. So not only are they scoring points, but they're not allowing the other team to just go on runs like that.
Well, there's still plenty of volleyball left to play. If you're a Brazilian fan, if you're an Italian, you'd love them to just shut this down immediately. But hopefully, we'll get a chance to chat for some of the players. Anne-Marie Anderson is standing by.
Tell me, in this arena, can you hear your coach's instructions?
Yes, but we need to pay a lot of attention so we can hear him.
For the 3rd set, what does your team need to do better?
I think that we need to pay attention on the details because the game is good, but we know that Italia is playing better, but we need to run and do all that we need, and we can for win and go to a tie break.
Thank you.
No problem.
A couple of words there from Arlene. In her first VNL, she's been really impressive in that serving substitution, but Brazil have a lot of work to do on Italy's side. Surely Coach Velasco will be happy with these first 2 sets. Anne-Marie Anderson is standing by to let us know his thoughts.
Coach, the third set, what do you need to do or continue to do?
But we continue to be on focus, because a lot of times when the team go 2-0, lose little concentration, focus in the game, the other team come back. So we must do that, because first set was in one way. Second set, they create problem to us with their service. Maybe third set different again. We must be open on our mind to resolve all kind of problems.
Thank you, Coach.
Question is, who starts this third set with the authority? Set number 3 underway. Brazil trying to get past, but Danesi says, no thank you.
Italy's block has been so good this entire match. Brazil has tried to test it out. They've done well when they've gone for fingertips.
Italy with the advantage here of 2 sets in the pocket. They can play comfortably, they can play relaxed, but what can Brazil do differently than we've seen them do?
I think they need to clean it up, and we've talked about those errors piling up, but if they can continue to get the middle involved, it's going to be a lot more helpful.
That's a good start there. Brazil tied up. Oh, just by a hair. Brazil needs a couple of more aces in the pocket. They could really use with some crowd involvement as well. It's going to be quiet.
They need to get this crowd fired up.
On the right side, Gio tries to get it done, can't do it. Down the middle is Bergman with a tip. Oro on her feet for Iganu, offhand. Great defense, Bergman again. Gio making Silla run. What an effort from Italy, but it does not pay off.
It's such a good effort from Silla. I love when she makes these plays, because you just see her putting everything out for it. Her teammates just not able to get there in time. But man, that's a great up.
That is why it's so hard to play against Italy. They do not give you a lot of floor space. That one's a tough miss. Again, Gio, one of the better servers on her side, and we knew that she was gonna go aggressive from the end line, but Italy would be happy with that. Iganu on the other side. And sneaking it down the middle is Julia.
Brazil's been continuing to go for that outside matchup. The right side, whether it's a slide attack or the opposite, has done really well against the shorter blockers for Italy.
Christina. Top spin. DiGiannato, easy. And there comes Iganu, making it look so simple.
And Andropova finished the last set for Italy. They didn't have to put Iganu back in, maybe resting her legs a little bit, but you put her right back in, it's plug and play.
Yeah, that's the question for me. That double sub with Andropova, you want her in the serve as well, but you want, hey, speaking of serving, how about another ace for Italy? Why not?
The serving has really picked up on Italy's side. Again, they only missed 1 serve last set, but they're continuing to keep the pressure on Brazil and that great balance of tough but in.
The middle comes in, and that is good.
This is what we've seen from Brazil throughout the match so far, at least the first 2 sets. They've played with Italy through about the halfway point, and then Italy's able to go on a run and extend it. Brazil needs to play toe-in-toe with them and get a run of their own.
Still down by 1. Oh, great in by De Gradi. Joust is good from Oro. Silla with authority.
Big swing from Silla on the outside. As a veteran, such a great job always seeing where the block is. Just a small seam for her to bang through, and she gets it done.
Silla, one of the best outsides of the Olympics in 2024. So much power when she gets that wind up going. The crowd will be happy with that one. what we saw a little bit in set number 1. The errors in the serve creeping back in a little bit on Italy's side. Free ball, basically, for Italy. Handled. Anna Cristina with the snap, but it's up. Here comes Silla into a 3-person block. Does not matter. Out of bounds.
Good finish for Italy. Brazil's block has done a decent job as well, trying to shut down their offense, but Italy's making those adjustments a lot better, swinging for high hands.
7-5, and you talked about it. This is where Italy's been pulling apart. And a block is good. Italy with a monster stuff.
Brazil going back to the outside, but not a matchup that they want to use. With Aganu paired up with Danesi, that's one of the biggest blocks in the world.
Biggest, fastest, strongest, all of the things.
Best.
Just most amazing. All the accolades. That'll do. No, it won't. Ball's called out of bounds. Brazil want to have a touch.
Check back row.
Did you see a touch in real time?
Didn't look like
No
a touch.
challenge,
He seems
no
pretty
challenge.
confident.
There is no challenge for this.
Based on that look, it
They
was
are
tough to
asking
tell
back
if
row,
a finger
check.
bent back. From that one look, probably not enough to overturn it, but maybe they have some more. We'll see some more looks.
We'll get another chance to look at it, but Italy have been doing such a good job of keeping their block discipline, and that's why we're starting to see all these swings a little high from the Brazilian side.
And that's what a really good block does. It puts pressure on the attackers to try to hit shots that they don't want to hit because they have to go higher and higher. That usually results in more errors piling up offensively.
Over the match so far, Brazil's given Italy 16 points in
Was out,
errors
but now
alone.
you have a
How can they
challenge
cut that
block touch
down?
of Brazil on the net.
I think just controlling what you can
Okay,
control, you know,
check the
keep the ball in
challenge,
the
check
court.
the
It sounds
challenge on
very
the net.
simple, obviously difficult to do against one of the top teams
Check
in the
the
world,
challenge block touch
but
on
just
the net.
controlling your side. Every swing, every serve.
Out.
We're seeing Brazil try their very best to go
Check
around
the
that block,
challenge
but
on the
Italy's
net,
got
block
8 of
touch.
them. So even, you got to figure out ways to test it, right?
Yeah.
Will we
Check on
see a
the
little
net
more
block
tipping
touch. They are
maybe out
asking
of
a block
Brazil?
touch challenge.
Certainly an option. Just also difficult to score on tips.
Okay,
Honestly, the
I
best thing that
understood,
they
I
can do if they're gonna tip is just taking the setter out.
Aganu and De Janeiro having a little hug there, letting them know
Yes,
they're here
yes.
for each other.
Yes, show.
Again, still looking at this block touch that
No
from the
block
view
touch.
that we saw, really difficult to tell. Clearly pretty difficult for the refs as well.
Well, whichever way this point goes, Italy have that slight advantage. Here's another look at it. I don't think I see a finger moving.
No, it doesn't look like it, and it wouldn't be that
We
pinky,
check.
but
We check. It was
nothing
no
there.
touch. We check.
Nothing there. So it is Brazil instead to make a substitution. And Helena Wenck comes in, the 20-year-old. Just a different look in that passing lineup. And Cristina stepping out of it. She will come back in to swing though, doesn't matter. Danesi is ready and waiting.
solo stuff from Danesi up front. Great read by the middle blocker. Gets her feet there, sees the shoulder in the line of approach, and dives the hands right back in.
And they've figured it out, right? Anna Cristina is stepping away from that passing unit because she's been targeted, which means she'll be open up to swing. Let's see if it pays off again. Nope, this time to the middle, but that'll do nicely.
This is a point where Brazil needs a little juice, needs a little bit of something, playing as clean as possible, not handing Italy any points. That was a great example of getting something going.
Ball even low, finding a way to score has to be at the forefront of Brazil's minds. 6-10, 4 points to make up, now 5, and again, those errors are costly at this stage.
And you can't have that many errors against the #1 team in the world that doesn't make a lot themselves. Italy scores a lot of points on their own. If Brazil's handing them more, it's gonna be a fast set.
Silla. Anna Cristina back in the passing unit. But she handles that really well.
Great answer from Brazil. Pretty good pass. Good outside set. Great push from Akrish.
Kika with that energy in the backcourt. Brazil need to find something here. They have to push a little bit more than they have been. More aggression in the serve will help, and an overpass does it. Brazil's crowd is loving it.
That started from the service line. Great pressure from the end line, forcing this overpass. And you know, and you've got a good server up there, that front line's got to be ready to put it back down.
Moreira now in the backcourt. Crowd chanting her name. Danese doesn't care the name of anyone on the other side.
Danese is so good at those response plays. If they need a side out, she's great right away when that pass nailed.
Steps back into the serving role. Ooh, almost clips the net into an ace. Brazil get themselves going. Perhaps a net touch there, but the referee didn't seem to see it. I thought Helena tagged the net. Maybe she avoided it. Tough to tell. Italy's pretty sure.
And luckily we've got challenges for that.
There we go. Bolt 6 is everywhere. Can't hide from them. Italy looking so good so far in this match. We knew they would, but if they are to close out in a 3-0, was that what you were expecting?
Absolutely not. I don't think you ever expect a sweep in a #1 versus #2 world-ranked matchup. I will say, with how good Italy is and when they're playing their best, I don't think there's a team in the world that can touch them. The way that Brazil's come out, they're not playing up to that caliber so far. You got Giannis Antetokounmpo in the building, the two-time NBA MVP. Coming out to Brazil to watch some good volleyball.
Yeah, he knows what's up. Everyone in the world is watching this game, right?
Stars watching stars.
I love it.
Just royalty in the building. It's always so cool to see stars from other sports really come and soak up the atmosphere, because this is truly one of the best sporting events in the entire world when you get Brazil in Brazil.
And bringing the whole crew, all the friends there with him as well. Why not? Ball back in play for Italy, off the hands. And Italy is just not letting up. Do you think they saw Janice as well and thought, you know what, we gotta step on the gas here?
Yeah, you gotta kind of show up for the Greek freak when he's in the building. I'm sure there's some other NBA fans in the building as well. Brazil certainly follows that league.
That is more like it from Brazil. Ana Cristina stepping it up.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to take some big swings. Tipping is not gonna win this ball game against Italy. Keep staying aggressive.
Down by 4. Just out of bounds, and again, those errors so costly for Brazil at this stage in the match.
Especially as they're trying to claw their way back, down 2-1. This is a must-win set for Brazil to advance this match. They can't afford that many errors.
Solid serve from De Gradi. And Cristina looking for Iganu, gets her.
Just targeting that knee. It's one thing to be in the right spot, but are you going to be low enough to get under it? Just a beautiful swing in the back court from Ana Cristina.
Now, this is the focus as well. Coach Velasco spoke about it with his team. Still plenty of cushion to work with. Nope, no lack of focus on Italy's side.
Italy's so good at siding out. Maybe they get a big kill on Brazil's side. Italy doesn't care. They're so laser focused on the next point, forgetting what happened, really having that 10-second memory.
Five points to work with here. What do you think Brazil can do better?
I think controlling their side, taking big swings.
See if we get a big swing here. Ana Cristina from the backcourt. Nope, she'll tip it. Easy played up by Danesi, but it's a free ball. Miscommunication. Morena makes Italy pay.
And those plays can't happen on Italy's side. You have to take care of the easy ones. If you're given a gift like that, it needs to be perfect.
Brazil have time to come back in this, but they have to be aggressive in all areas of their game, starting with this serve. Reese on the end line to try and get it done. Easy ball for Italy. Good defense in the backcourt, but a net touch is called on the blockers.
Just heartbreaking for Brazil at this point in the set. When you dig Palaganu like that, you need to be able to convert the next play, but a net touch, just that undisciplined block, gets it done for Italy, and now extending that lead again to 5. Great up in the backcourt, though. Ana Cristina just playing great all-around ball.
Sitting in that seam, she knew where it was coming. Solid serve, well handled on Brazil's side. Good pass by Helena.
A really good response from Brazil as well. Julia Bergman leaving no questions of where this ball was going.
We don't often get that big of a seam in Italy's block. Bergman drops one on the outside, still is ready for it. And Iganu in response on the line, pinpoint perfection.
Well, Palaganu's dug in the cross court, so she switches it up to the line, and this swing looking just as good.
Timeout here on the floor. Brazil doing some makeup.
Temos que ir por risco, galera. Estão jogando com posse na mão. Mas tá meio, porque o nosso saque tá muito pequeno. Temos que ir por risco, não adianta ficar botando a bola do lado de lá. Bola de novo. Fica do lado da mão esquerda dela de novo. Aí, arruma o passe, vambora de novo, Helena. Aí. Op.
Yeah, Giannis loving it.
NBA champion in 2021, two-time most valuable player, and now courtside to see the best volleyball in the world. We love to see that.
That's so cool. Seeing him come support women's volleyball, and really just stars probably taking it in, saying, this is pretty fun.
Yeah, bring that back with you. Let's get it going in the U.S. Let's get some superstars in the professional leagues in the U.S. as well. Brazil with a lot of work to do, but they are doing it, slowly chipping away.
Brazil is scary because if they start stringing together points and this crowd of 11,000 screaming fans gets involved, that's worth about 2 points in itself.
Right on the line. 4 points to make up. Brazil has given 20 errors to Italy. Not this time, though. An ace serve for Brazil.
Massive plays at a big time, and coming from the middle blocker in the backcourt, perfect in the seam.
And she repeats. 6 aces for Brazil so far. Just 3 for Italy, but they've been more consistent in keeping those errors controlled. Oh, what a pickup. Silla in the backcourt. Iganu takes no prisoners.
I mean, it is just so difficult when you're going up against the best player in the world in any situation, in system, out of system, it doesn't matter. She is so good.
And it's wild because I'm looking at her numbers and she has 11 points, but that's not even huge for her. She's not standing out as a superstar because her whole team is playing well.
And that's great when you don't have to rely on your superstars in these kind of moments because it's been so balanced and everybody else is getting involved.
They're always getting Ana Cristina involved. She's still the top scorer with 14. second VNL, tough serve. But it doesn't matter. Oh, whoa. Ball's still up. Hang on a sec. And another super defense. And Brazil get it done.
Doesn't matter how you get the ball up, it just matters that the ball is up. Brazil using everything they've got to try to make a play at this.
Alcuni sono buone giocate loro, che non ci mettono in difficoltà con una battuta normale, ne lasciamo spazio a Mocchi, mettiamo la palla lì, ok, quando sei in prima linea, il pallonetto in seconda ci sta.
There saying that only counts for 1 point, guys. But does it when the crowd gets this hyped?
I don't think it does. Again, I think these 11,000 fans are worth a few points in themselves. Italy has to make sure they're staying composed and not letting this moment get too big and the crowd take over.
The crowd is ready to carry Brazil on their back. Can Brazil do it on the court? Big block would help, and that'll do.
Brazil is storming back in this one, doing everything right at the perfect time, finding ways to shut down Italy. Those middles are working hard.
Julia, right place, right time, perfect pressure. Another aggressive serve, it's an ace serve for Brazil.
There was a point in this set where it looked like Brazil was down for the count. Italy took complete control. All of a sudden, this Brazil team is storming back after a great service run.
Just 20 years old at the end line. How about that for handling pressure? I spoke too soon. That is a lot to ask of a youngster in just her second VNL. But Italy let off the hook here.
Italy at one point in the set up 5 points. If you have a lead like that against a #2 team in the world playing at home, you gotta close the door. It's gonna start here in the red zone in these last 5 points.
A couple of changes. Tripova and Giovannini on the court. As Camby. Defense looks good from Silla. Up, De Janeiro to Antropova, trying to work hands, doesn't matter. The block is good, and Brazil tie it up again.
This place might just explode with how Brazil is storming back. They are playing lights out in every facet of the game. That is what it's going to take down the #1 team in the world.
This is what we mean when we say Brazil in Brazil. Oh, Italy coming back. What a smart play from Camby.
Really impressive high IQ play, knowing that Brazil is ready for that hard attack. Not too many setter dumps tonight. That's what made it effective, because Brazil wasn't expecting it.
Again, working on that youth on the other side between Julia and Helena. We're not used to seeing that speed of the offense from a setter. Serve from Giovannini. Bergman.
Brazil needs to continue to take those big swings. In a moment like this, you're not going to win tipping. This is going to be punch for punch.
This is what we were expecting. When we say world #1 versus world #2, this is the knockout, drag down battle I was looking for. Lots on the line here. Italy up 2 sets, but if Brazil can force a third, force a fourth, maybe a fifth, who knows what can happen. De Janeiro, perfect on the money, and that's the response. Antropova will not miss in that situation.
Even with Paolo Ganu off of the court, the reigning VNL and Olympic MVP, it's not too big of a drop-off when you have Antropova out in the match, especially when she's front court.
Italy trying to get the edge here. Sarah, ball in hand. Dropped it in the middle. Helena handles that beautifully. Lorena cross court. Not yet. And the response on Camby. She did it, and now it's Brazil.
High IQ play at the perfect time for Brazil's setter. Scramble play off the net. Great time to throw in this play because that defense back on their heels on Italy's side.
A taste of her own medicine. Macris knows how to do it better than anyone. Antropova on lines and misses.
Italy can't give Brazil any more reason to cheer. They have to control those plays on their side.
Well, despite Brazil storming back, the win prediction still 95% for Italy. But what a big comeback for Brazil.
A massive comeback for a team that was down 18-13. To make this kind of run late in the set is exactly what Brazil needed with some high execution.
Solid serve. Silla is targeted again. She'll respond with a swing and another block by Brazil.
The way that the blockers on Brazil's side are so dialed in this late in the set, this is where the heart comes out for everyone on the court.
Momentum trying to be stopped here. Italy asking for a net touch. I'm not sure I saw anything in real time that looks like a net touch.
Didn't seem that way, but Italy's out of timeout, so they don't have the luxury of using another one. Could just be a stalling tactic as well on set point.
100%. Set point Brazil, they are looking to close it out here and give these fans something to scream about. Waiting for the result of the challenge because these fans, I have a feeling, are going to let us know how they feel. Let's have a look at it. It's on the building screen as well.
Great challenge.
There you go.
Show the ball,
the
show the
fans
ball, show
and
with
the
ball.
players too
With
busy
ball,
celebrating that massive block to
check.
notice. Actually, it did look like there might have been a net touch.
There was a massive net touch
Show
earlier in
with
that
ball,
round.
with ball.
Fans starting to get a little cheeky in the building. Start to hear those boos if things don't go their way, but they know how close they are to taking a set off of Italy, which would be huge.
I think Brazil arguing the ball might have been down before that happened, but clearly in that shot, the ball was still alive.
So Brazil lose the edge they just had. It is now tied up at 23s. Brazil have to focus in. Antropova. Oh, ace serve.
Sometimes you don't have to be good, you just have to be lucky. That was one of the biggest moments in this entire match, barely sneaking over.
Se entrar muito forte, arruma só pra cima. Tá? Tem Helena, Júlia e a Ana no fundo. importante é isso. Mesmo se fechar triplo, sai dando dali. Tá, vambora. A Paula entrou, não. É isso. Tá, coisa pra cá. Câmbio. A levantadora.
Levanta na rede, deixa ela em cima mesmo.
Isso, não.
Em cima aí.
Deixa em cima.
Bora, você!
Brazil giving the edge back to Italy. It is now set point, match point Italy after a huge serve from Antropova. There's a substitution I'm not sure I was expecting, but Iganu coming in the front court. No setter on court now. Here we go, set point, match point, Italy. Tough serve, free ball coming. Chance for Iganu to swing. No, she goes two hands. Kept in play. Helena has a swing, doesn't go down. One more time, and it will, and Brazil have saved match point.
How about the 20-year-old outside coming in, taking one of the biggest swings of her life against one of the best blocking units in the entire world? That's the definition of clutch.
Brazil need more action. They've had 9 errors already in this set. They're gonna have to keep it clean here. Italy off the hands. Oh, what a pickup. High ball outside, Anna Cristina to go. Ball is defended well. Silla now to swing. Oh, what a pickup. Marquise on the outside. Anna Cristina again can't put it down. Oh, it's a tip from Iganu that lands.
I mean, that point was one of the best that we've seen in Volleyball Nations League this far. The defense on both sides, that's coming down to grit and how much both of these teams wanted. The hustle from McCreesh, followed by back-to-back libero digs, insane.
Another quick substitution on Italy's side. Degradi coming in on the outside, and it is match point Italy. Elena cross court, easy pickup. Iganu, another tip. Oh, pancake. What a swing for Brazil.
Incredibly well handled on Brazil's side, but a missed opportunity for Italy. Iganu gets a great set. That's a ball that you have to swing on in match point.
Tip worked moments ago. She could go back to an excellent pancake. Brazil now with no libero on their court. Morena on Silla. Quick to Danese. Great touches. Oh! Here comes Iganu one more time into hands. And on the floor, Brazil get the block.
Brazil's blocking unit as dialed in as we've seen, and it's got to fuel you and give you massive confidence to block one of the best players in the world, as Anna Cristina just did. Iganu getting a little bit timid up there. No full swings from her the last 3.
Brazil set point to force a fourth. De Janeiro, of course, perfect pass. Iganu in the hands. There's the recycle. Going again. One more time to Gradi. Doesn't take any heat off it. Anna Cristina, not yet. Oh, de Gradi, what a clutch swing by her.
That's why she's put into this match, because she just has that mindset of, I'm going to go for it any chance that I can. I love this substitution, getting her back in the game.
Solid serve from Italy. Tip doesn't fall. Pressure from Iganu off the hands, and the balance has flip-flopped once again.
Italy now in control. Brazil putting up 3 blockers up against Paolo Iganu, knowing that in these moments, Italy relies on the reigning Olympic and VNL MVP.
Match point, Italy. Trying to hold him off is Anna Cristina, who gets the overpass. One more time to swing, and it is touched in the block. Ooh.
Great precision on the outside. Anna Cristina knows she's got a massive block right in front of her. She has to swing high. Perfect execution.
Backhand to Helena in the serve. She has been so calm for such a young and inexperienced player here on this stage. Floats it to Gradi. Good platform, tip into the block, just beyond it. Macris has to send it deep. Easy read for De Janeiro. What a pickup. And Cristina again just tags the antenna. And a free point for Italy.
And the discipline there, not quite there, but I do love the way that Brazil's continuing to go for it. Every ball that we're seeing Brazil take over is a big swing.
Match point number 4 is an ace serve for Paula Egonu, and that is it. 3-0. The world #1 takes down Brazil in Brazil. What a performance.
Brazil completely erased a 5-point lead from Italy, but late in sets, that's where experience comes in. This